Many of you remember the Maoris from El Paso County, Colorado, that were being racially harassed, animals being poisoned on their ranch, and they were charged with felony stalking and harassment charges. Well, those charges have been dropped. They should never have been charged in the first place because they're the ones being victimized in this whole thing. So this whole thing of charging them was ridiculous from the start. So I'm glad for them, but the fight is far from over. Felony charges of stalking and harassment against two ranchers in El Paso County have been dropped. Courtney and Nicole Mallery were arrested and charged in February, which was ridiculous. I did a video on that back then. So, you remember the couple, they bought a 1,000-acre ranch in Yoder 3 years ago and started settling into the community within the past year, and they said things just turned completely ugly with their neighbors. So, it was a dispute over an easement located between their property and a neighbor's property that led to all kinds of restraining orders. The neighbor should have really been the one getting arrested, and the Mallorys got arrested, and their neighbor's name was Teresa Clark, and they said the entire thing just turned into race. And I'm not surprised. I mean, this is America, and that is what America is fueled on. America is completely fueled on racism, and it always will be. You know, what these two been through is absolutely ridiculous, and it never should have happened. But you had a sheriff's office that was behind this whole thing along with the racist residents, and that was the problem, and it still is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just when I heard about this story, it was so crazy. You could hardly believe it until you really start researching and looking into this whole thing. And it's a shame that it ever happened in the first place. So I'm happy for them. But like I said, their fight is nowhere near being over for them. These people are still living in a very racist environment. So the El Paso prosecutors have dropped all criminal charges against a pair of black ranchers whose allegations of racist behavior by their neighbors and local sheriff's department went viral earlier this year. Yeah, and the sheriff's office also tried to say they were exaggerating the whole thing. Sounds just like Jim Crow, don't it? Courtney and Nicole Mallery were charged in February with felony stalking and tampering with a utility meter and petty theft related to an ongoing dispute with their neighbor in a small town of Yoder. So the case drew national attention from advocacy and civil rights organizations, as well as Colorado lawmakers. We are pleased with this outcome and recognize the district attorney's office for reacting to this conclusion, the couple's attorney said. The couple's attorney's name is Tyrone Glover and Matthew Roach. And there's also a Jeremy Lowe. So this is what they said in a statement on Thursday, which was yesterday. Um, this is so sad. While justice have been served today, the fight for individual law enforcement and prosecutor accountability is far from over. Glover, interviewed Wednesday, said the couple has not ruled out a potential lawsuit. They should definitely sue for being harassed, and then the sheriff's office charges them and not the people that are harassing them. Oh, no, you definitely should move forward with that. We implore the district attorneys and sheriff offices to conduct more thorough front end investigations before charges to minimize injustices such as these in the future, to ensure the criminally accused are afforded due process of law, the attorney said in a statement. Howard Black, a spokesperson for the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office, said a public criminal record does not exist with respect to these defendants who are the subject of the sealed record. He would not comment further. The only case still on the court docket for Nicole Mallery is a review hearing for a protection order. The rancher's story blew up after the pair did interviews with an online publication, and it raised concerns about their civil rights violations. The Maori said their white neighbors poisoned their animals, destroyed their property, threatened them with guns, though nobody has been arrested in connection with the couple's allegations. And they killed one of their workers too. Their neighbors killed one of their workers. So the alleged El Paso County Sheriff's deputies were not taking their concerns seriously. And see, this is where the feds should come in on this sheriff's department, because they pretty much joined in on the racism. And that's where the feds really need to come in on their butts. But we know in this society, they don't believe in doing the right thing. So they had dozens of hours of body cam footage and hundreds of pages of reports. Those documents and video evidence painted a much more complicated picture of the situation in Yoder. All right, so the Maori story pretty much proved law enforcement abuse and racism from the sheriff's department. The situation appeared to be part of a neighborly dispute that spiraled out of control, evidenced by hundreds of calls for service by the Maoris and other community members, accusing one of tampering with cameras, watching each other's movements, violating a laundry list of protection orders. The calls came in so frequently from all sides that El Paso County deputies in their reports appeared to grow increasingly fed up with the situation, even encouraging neighbors to move for their own peace of mind. Well, it's not really their job to tell people to move. That's not what the sheriff's department should be doing. Okay? That should have been handled properly. The neighbor that kicked up all this dust with them, that's the person that should have gotten arrested. But because she looks just like the people in the sheriff's office, they don't want to do nothing to her. That's how it spiraled out of control. The sheriff's office is very much involved in this whole thing, just like the neighbors are. And I don't want the Mallorys to think about a lawsuit. I want them to do one. Seriously, they need to go after all of these people. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.